Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing something I hope that will work out, but I really don't know. I will be doing a blind bad boy of YA fantasy ranking. So what I mean by blind is I'm going to rank bad boys from YA fantasies of the books I haven't read or the series I haven't read. And I have just heard of these people talked about sometimes, or I've heard them mentioned as like people's favorites, or I just know the series but I know I haven't read it. So the way I'm going to rank them is I'm literally, or I already have done this, but I googled their names. I have 8 characters that I'm going to rank, and I'm a little hesitant because some of them have just really long like wiki pages, and others I've gotten like people's comments or like little blogs they wrote about the characters. But literally I'm going into this blind. I don't know anything about this series really. I just know some of them are pretty popular, and I might have heard spoilers about some of these characters in the past, but if I did, I really don't remember. We'll see how this goes. I don't know, I'm excited. I've always wanted to like do a tier ranking. Oh, and the tier ranks are as follows. They're just great, good, okay, meh, and trash. Absolute trash. Which, I mean, I don't think that anyone will be on this list because usually, I don't know, people love bad boys, and I have loved bad boys probably, oh, for the most part, since back from the Harry Potter days when people were writing fan fiction like crazy, and I was totally shipping Draco and Hermione. They still should have happened, in my opinion, if Draco changed a little bit and was more, well, I won't talk about the cursed child. But anyways, I totally shipped Hermione back in the day, and that's like what started my love for bad boys, which I think that he is for sure. But anyways, let's start this out. I'm going to start with Jace. So here's where things get interesting and confusing. Jace from Mortal Instruments. Haven't read the series. I think that they made a movie or maybe movies back in the day, but I never saw them. And also, I don't really even know what this guy's last name is. In some places it's Jace Wayland, and in some places it's Jace Herondale. Apparently people say he's really handsome, well, which of course I feel like that's going to be like the description for every bad boy. Sarcastic and aloof and arrogant. I know that he was raised as an orphan, and now he's like this demon fighting shadow hunter. I don't know what shadow hunters are. I can only assume that they're demon fighters, and he's the best, so that's pretty cool. That's like going up in points. Clearly he's like the love interest that kind of like softens his bad boy demeanor and really gets him to emotionally open up, which I feel like that's like the allure of the bad boy, that you can like fix them or like they have redeemable qualities. These are people describing him. Independent, self-possessed, sharp defensive wit. I like a witty guy. Strong moral core. So kind of a bad boy, but kind of maybe even not. I guess people saying he's sarcastic, narcissistic, has a hot temper, he loves to kill demons and to get himself in trouble. He's carefree and doesn't care much about his life. He thinks he's the best shadow hunter, which is true. I guess it's made to be a little confident. So let's see. I don't know. Again, this is kind of weird because it's so hard to know just based on like tiny descriptions, but we'll put him in the great category. Jace, going in the great category. Next, we have Ronan Lynch from the Raven Cycle. I think I've heard a few things about him. People seem to like him, but I don't know if he's like, is he even that much of a bad boy? I don't know. So he's an Irish hellraiser. Okay, that points up again. Razor sharp smile, a dirty mouth, and a dark past. He lives inside his own anger, and he has no trouble giving into outbursts. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. He's cheeky, tattooed, but I guess he has a hidden tender heart and a hidden ream of desires. I mean, he sounds okay. There's a blog post where they call him the most unusual and perfectly written YA fantasy hero. Okay, so his father was murdered, so I suppose that would explain the anger and the bad boy vibes. The fandom page says that he's dangerous and confrontational. I don't know what dangerous really means. He doesn't seem to care much about hurting others' feelings. Secretive and prone to hostility. So just from reading this, I honestly don't know. I don't know where to put Ronan. And I've heard like mixed things about the Raven cycle too. People either seem to really, really love it and really suggest it, or kind of like be meh about it. And I'm feeling a little meh. Not meh, actually, no. I'm feeling, I guess, just okay about Ronan Lynch. That's where he's gonna be for now. And moving on, Maven Calore from the Red Queen. So I've actually really wanted to read the Red Queen series, and I think I'm going to in September. Which, by the way, it would be really fun to actually read all of these books and then maybe do like a re-rating based on, you know, actually getting to know the character so that I actually know what I'm talking about. Right now I feel super lost. Okay, so Maven Calore is the former king of Norta. Okay, so he's a king. Around 6 feet tall with a lean and fine boned frame. He has very pale skin, thick black hair, and bright blue eyes embedded with tiny silvery flecks. Okay, it's not no complaints here. Oh, so he has a mother that dies apparently. What, is there like a theme with all of these bad boys losing parents? Because it seems to be. Maven is depicted as a lonely teenager who's constantly overshadowed by his older brother and ignored by his father. In Red Queen, he's described as kind and diplomatic. I'm not still seeing the bad boy situation. Oh, okay. Never mind, a different side of him is shown at the end of Red Queen, where he's revealed to be malicious and treacherous, turning against his brother and working with Alara to murder his father. But do his brother and his father deserve it? I can't really tell. Okay, so he's a complex individual and his true motives are never truly known. Okay, there's like a ton of information about the whole plot of the whole series, I suppose. I don't really want to read through that. He has abilities. He can manipulate fire. That's cool. He can manipulate it but not create it. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Maven. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling meh, just based on what I read. Again, this is completely based on what I'm quickly reading and quickly skimming through all these wikis and fandoms and articles, so this could be completely off. Yeah, please. So the next character and bad boy is the Darkling from the Grishaverse series. So I've read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom and became super obsessed with both. I have not yet read the trilogy and I haven't read King of Scars, but I really want to. And I've heard people talk about the Darkling so much when I hear about like fantasy villains or bad boys or just dark characters, favorite dark characters. He comes up, like his name comes up so much. So I'm already kind of like wanting to rank him higher just based on people mentioning him so much, but I won't yet. So the Darkling is just about as bad as it gets before crossing that line into pure evil territory. He is the mysterious and fantastical force that leads the Grisha, and he's ancient, extremely powerful, and definitely dangerous. So let's see, he has a love triangle apparently with the two main characters, which I think I've heard about. Alina, she I think saves everyone. I think she was mentioned in either Six of Crows or Crooked Kingdom. I'm not sure which one. I remember her name. But okay, so the Darkling is also charismatic and magnetic. Apparently, according to this, he's a sociopath lacking in morals. But he also encourages passion in Alina, which has been missing in her life. So I guess he is a villain, but he's in love with one of the main characters, is what I'm gathering from this. Someone else also calls him the perfect villain. I don't know, I really love morally gray characters, and I don't really even know if you would call him morally gray. It sounds more like he's just a bad guy. So apparently you do root for him. He has this plan to improve his country and help his people. So I guess he, according to this, or based on what I'm reading, he is coming from a good place. But obviously, we know how that works out. I'm gonna put him in the good. The Darkling is going in the good category, I think. The next YA bad boy is Aaron Warner from Shatter Me. I really want to read this series. I've heard pretty good things about it. He's a 19-year-old commander of Sector 45, whatever that is, and an all-around bad guy in the beginning of the dystopian thriller. So in the beginning, so I assume that he turns good. He's manipulative, cold, and handsome. Of course, they're all handsome. We get it. We get it. He comes off as cruel and calculated. He's meticulous, detail-oriented, and a perfectionist. He rules with an iron fist. He can be coercive and manipulative, but that is later revealed to be a front. Surprise, surprise. He appears to be confident and self-possessed, but he lets his guard down around Juliet. He's described by Juliet as beautiful, perfect, and flawless. Flawless. Blonde hair and green eyes. Described as pale emerald. Don't forget. He has power absorption. That's his special ability. Okay. He can absorb their energies. He's twisted the way he gets inside of you. This is never lets go, literally. And I quote, he's freaking hot. I don't know if I'm going to place anyone in a trash category, but that's okay. I don't know how I feel about Warner. I think he's kind of okay with the Ronan category. I don't know if I'm going to put anyone in a trash category. So he's going under okay. Next, we have Alucard. I don't really know how to say his name. I think it's Alucard. That's what I'm calling him. I don't know. From Shades of Magic. And let's see what we find about him. He's sea tan skin and rich brown hair, which he often pins back in a ponytail, storm blue eyes that are nearly black. He's soft and sharp at the same time. He has shown himself to be incredibly witty, charming, and clever, if not on the vain side. He's haunted by his past and his family. I don't know, he seems like a really fun character. This makes me want to rank him higher. I don't know, I'm gonna put him in the good. Yeah, let's go with that. Next we have Patch from Hush Hush. He's a fallen angel who becomes a guardian angel. So Patch is a primary romantic interest in Hush Hush, but he's also a series candidate for primary villain status throughout most of the book. So while his sexiness is never in question, okay, the question of whether he's good or bad really drives the conflict in the novel. After all, he's a fallen angel. He can't help but be a mix of good and bad. Okay, so readers will either love or hate him. He doesn't care what people think of him. He's the looker, the dominator, the womanizer, the selfish jerk. Okay, let's face it, Patch is kind of a tool. Of course, it says his character evolves from a selfish, unfeeling bad boy to someone struggling for redemption, someone capable of love. Yeah, I don't know if that's really good enough. I'm gonna go with meh. Meh. And finally, Cam from Fallen. I don't know anything about this series. Honestly, I really don't. Smoldering good looks? Check. Attentiveness? Check. Nice to parents? Check. And he plays the guitar. Or does he? I don't know. I thought he does. Maybe not. He's the resident bad boy of Sword and Cross. So he's also a fallen angel. It says that Cam is also a fallen angel who chose the wrong side. How many fallen angels do we have here in YA Fantasy Bad Boy Club? Oh, he's the master of seduction. So last rating, I don't know. I'm going with meh. This shows something. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like these characters are probably way better than I think they are. And this was a lot harder to blindly rank characters just based on super long descriptions that I skimmed through. I thought this would be a lot easier, but yeah, this is how I'm ranking them. And maybe one day I will read all of these books, as I mentioned before, and see if I still think the same. It'd be really cool to do like a comprehensive ranking with characters from books that I have read and some of my actual favorite bad boys that I know and love. But thank you for watching.